So this episode is giving us a little bit of foreshadowing, a little bit of calm before the storm. I can't believe that I'm saying this because whenever we saw that Britt and Kelly were falling out at the beginning of the season, you couldn't tell me that Britt was not the cause of this. They got me defending Britt 2 episodes in a row. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. I wanted to bring you a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 16, episode 15. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button for me. When you hit the like button, it is a free way to support the channel and also let YouTube know that I'm here and that you all are rocking with my commentary, so YouTube starts to shoot my content out to other viewers. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know what I'm posting. I'm very close to 6K, so let's run it up. I also have a membership to subscribe to. It is $5 a month for a cup of coffee every month. You can help the maintenance of this channel. Let's go ahead and get started. I definitely felt like this was a bit of a filler episode. It was a good time. It was fun. But it wasn't a whole lot going on. It's not a whole lot to talk about. I only watched this episode once because I went out last night to celebrate the homie's birthday. We went out last night for a little bit of karaoke. It was a good time. If you get me out on a school night, that means I love you. And shout out to all my Geminis out there. Happy birthday, Ra. Let's go ahead and get started, y'all. We start the episode with a montage of the girls throwing ass from the night before. Okay, it was a lot of ass everywhere. We have Angela and Drew talking about how Shamia was really going through it the night before. Angela made this joke that she can't look at Drew's face when there are serious moments because, you know, they did like this flashback of Drew and Drew's face was like, she was just like very confused, and you can tell like she was puzzled by Brittany's reaction and response to Shamia. And I just think Drew is a kiki. By the way, I have to say that I never disliked Drew prior to this season, but she has really grown on me this season. Like I'm loving Drew this season. Anyway, oh, by the way, I did make this crochet dress. I'm still working on my channel. You know, I know I said that I was working on my channel, but you know, when you're a creative, sometimes it's hard to kind of put everything in a neat box and put it together for content. Like it's just, I don't know, I'm still working on it. But in any case, I was talking to my best friend about some of the obstacles and challenges that I'm having with the education portion of my channel, because so much of what I do is by sight and not by pattern. So I'm trying my best to teach people how I approach crochet, if that makes sense. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I'll announce it whenever I have everything all set up and all together, but I'm definitely still working on it. So anyway, Drew has this confessional where she's saying, oh, and they say I'm an actress, because I don't know what that was about last night. They also took note of the fact that it seems as though Britt was on an island by herself and that something is going on between her and Kelly. Then we have Shamia on the phone with her mother, who is telling her it took an hour to warm Shiloh back up. I had this in my notes from last week and I forgot to mention it. It happens sometimes. Sometimes I will glaze over things in my notes because I drop my phone and I start like going off of the dome. But anyway, I just felt like if you're going to be that broken up and that distraught over your baby and you're crying and you're all broken up and, you know, you're rocking back and forth, why don't you just get up and get on a plane and go tend to your baby? Because didn't Gerald say something like somebody was throwing? I don't know. It just sounded weird. It sounded like a situation that was out of the ordinary. It sounded like somebody was purposefully being negligent with Shiloh, and that affected her health. And I feel like that is cause to get on a plane and go see about your baby. You can always get up and go to Grenada anytime. Like, then we see this scene with Portia, Phaedra, and Cynthia. So they mentioned Brit and Shamia and the whole donation conversation. I forgot to mention this too, but remember last week whenever Portia and Brittany were having that conversation about, I don't feel supported, and Portia's like, well, I asked everybody in the chat who is who, and Brittany didn't respond, but Portia showed, they showed a screenshot of Portia's phone. And you know how, like, you'll have somebody's number and it'll suggest, like, their name, maybe, blah, blah, blah. So it suggested Brit to her, and she still chose not to save her number. So it's like, Portia, you definitely gaslit that girl, and so did Shamia, and it makes complete and total sense why the two of y'all are friends and have been friends for this long, because y'all are both incredibly manipulative. Portia is clocking the fact that Kelli wasn't sticking up for Brittany at the table the night before, because she says that anytime Brit speaks, Kelli is speaking up on her behalf. So Kelli was a lapdog for Brittany at first, but now she's a lapdog for Shamia. So she kind of just switched sides. She switched over, honey. By the way, anytime I see that clip of Brittany reading Angela, it cracks me up, because it's not even what she said. It was the way she said it and the face that she made.
Has it been acknowledged she's been married to you for the last 50 years?
He hasn't even acknowledged that he's been married to you for the last 10 years. Like, that is comedy. That is the best thing that she has done on this show. That is my favorite thing that Britt Eady has done on this show, was making that face at Angela. Portia feels like it's the spirit of jealousy that is the root of this drama between them.
I started working with the team. We go to Nashville. Kelli, wanted to do matching looks. I'm kind of a bad bitch by myself. I ain't never really needed a rose.
You don't want to do the matching?
No, this is all her idea.
Oh.
So I always
dedicated to it on my birthday.
Yeah, I always stood alone. So she was like, girl, let's bust this down. Let's tag team, whatever. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm game.
Cute.
It's fun. It's
they were cute.
Yeah,
their matching
I can believe
it was cute. So I was like, okay. So then we get into Nashville. They're working on her makeup too long. They're working on her hair too long. Her videos look better. And then she didn't want me to post any. It got really weird. So her team was like, hey, Britt, Kelli has asked all of us to not work with you.
No.
I said,
whoa.
Excuse me?
During the stylist?
Yes, stylist, videographer, manager, hair, makeup. She's
so
a people
behind
pleaser.
the closed door stuff. Doing
Yes,
stuff.
so that's exactly
did you
what
just
happened.
ask her, hey, is this true?
So this is what happened. So they all had a meeting. We all sat down. They're like, look, we love you guys. I know you guys are close. You guys need to talk it out before this gets ugly. They came to me. We did lunch. I said, Kelli, is everything okay? Did you really say that? She's like, I did, but I was just in my feelings. It was a lot going on at the time.
I didn't mind extending my team until she could find one. But at the same time, it's like, damn, do you want my gynecologist too?
But why?
How you gonna get fist and tell the glam nuts?
So I was like, then how can you really be my friend if you really hating on the background?
Now, when the team said, we're taking too long with her, okay, that's fine. That's one thing. But when they said, the videos and the pictures are coming out better, I said, oh, that's the jealous spirit that Portia clocked.
That you are working on something right now. And I feel success coming up behind it, but I also feel lots of opposition. There's some people that's in your circle that's telling you that they're your friends and they're talking against your future.
Phaedra mentioned that when Brittany took her top off, she realized that she had an inverted nipple. And then Portia's like, oh, so does Cynthia's clit.
Wow.
I feel like these women know too much about each other's genitals. So then we have Brittany going over to Kelli's room and they start talking about the night before. She says that she had a call with her attorney and she was overwhelmed with her week. She starts crying. She says she has custody matters that she's dealing with, divisions of assets and property. Britt says that she felt different energy and it was weird that Kelli sat there and let Shamia drag her. She said that she asked Kelli multiple times, what is a good amount to donate? Is it about donations or more? Can I just pull over on that too? Because I have more thoughts. I feel like everybody's donations were raggedy, to be honest with you. Portia only gave $1,000, you know, for a housewife that, by the way, I found out, okay, so many thoughts going on at once. But her donation was raggedy. $1,000 for a housewife is absolutely raggedy. $250 is something that I can donate. So that's absolutely raggedy. And I feel like, Brittany, for you to not know that that is a raggedy donation after these people experience Hurricane Beryl, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, it's like, how were you raised? It's that kind of thing. But I learned that Portia was making $1.6 million off of Housewives, and she was getting $30,000 a month in allowance from Simon. So let's see, 30,000 times 12 equals 360,000 is what she was getting from Simon. That kind of pay cut, Portia, you're stupid. You're dumb. Now, $30K a month ain't nothing to scoff at. It's not like a little bit of money by any means, but it is a significant pay cut that you quit your jobs for. Now, I did coverage for Portia's divorce, and, you know, I walked away feeling like, oh, Portia actually learned her lesson this time. You know, she handled things smart, but not so fast. This was before I learned what her salary was on this show. Girl, to make $2 million from filming for 4 months on this show, and you let this man pay you $30K to keep you locked up in the house?
See, let's use our brain.
But yeah, anyway, I thought everybody's donations were raggedy. Kelli donated a bunch of water. Shamia, a bunch of old clothes. Which, I mean, sure, fine, but your husband is where the money resides, so I would expect more from you. Like, it can't just be old clothes that your daughter was wearing, since we judge in donations. So anyway, Brit is saying that she felt this different energy from Kelli, and she wants to know, is it strictly about the donations or is it more? Kelli clocked that she couldn't afford her event and that she was able to get everyone on her team plastic surgery. I was wondering about that too, and I forgot to mention it. Like, you're bragging about how you were able to get your whole team plastic surgery, but you can't even play for a few more chicken plates at your own event, or your husband can't pay for it. She said to that man in that interview a few years back that she bought her husband a Rolls Royce and that it was this viral moment on Instagram.
And it's like, for me, I bought my man a Rolls Royce for Christmas. You didn't see that? It went viral. They got like 1 million
views. Did I? I think I did see that.
Are you serious? It was like, it was everywhere on blogs.
I think I seen it. I did see it.
I said you have some women who sit in the Rolls Royce, and then you have other women who buy them.
I remember that post.
And I did that because I wanted to show the appreciation.
So if it's Bentleys and Hummers, little daddy, we bout that. Woody ice on our mouth and wrists, we bout that. Why do you not know what is a reasonable donation for people who lost everything in a hurricane? Brittany, I need you to be serious. Anyway, Kelli says that she wants Brittany to show up because she has a bigger purpose for her life, and Brittany tells her that she feels like she's hiding behind her team. I don't ever want to hear, oh, you have a bigger purpose for your life from a bitch that's being shady, because I'll tell y'all something that happened to me. This was years ago. Back in 2017, I was working at a salon at this time. Yes, I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I graduated in 2016. Anyway, I was working at this place, and it was so clear in the salon that these women had some animosity towards me. Should I get into the reason? I really feel like it was because of like my relationship to the men that they knew, the men that they introduced me to. Like, okay, one of the men, okay, let me set it up. There was a salon suite that I worked at, and it was like different salons, and there was a barber shop. So there was this guy at the barber shop, so fine, okay? He and I like developed a little friendship. We got cool. And one day he brought me actually he asked me, he was like, what kind of wine do you like? And I told him, and he brought me that wine. And I told the ladies, and they were so upset. They were like, oh, we've been working next to for years, and he ain't never offered to bring us wine. It was that kind of moment. And then there was this other guy who actually used to go to the barbershop, and I met him or whatever, and we started flirting. And he was originally flirting with one of the girls who worked in the, in the shop that I worked at. But she introduced us to each other like, oh, y'all should, be a thing or whatever. And so she's talking to me about him, and she's like, oh, he used to like me, whatever, whatever. But he was too nerdy for me. He was too this or that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But he and I started getting close. And after that, I realized like she started being very hostile towards me. And then one day we kind of had a misunderstanding about something, and then she was like, oh, because I fight. And I was like, whoa, like, where did that come from? Like, we're at work, mind you, and it wasn't even that kind of situation. It was not that serious for this girl to be like, I fight. I was like, oh. Mind you, this girl wasn't ugly or anything like that, but she definitely wasn't somebody that I would look at and be like, oh, she's like a really attractive woman. Like, she was just okay. And it gave like, she wanted to mess up my face and tug on my hair a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, girl. No, I see through this. It's the niggas. It's the men that have y'all twisted, because when I first got in there, everybody loved me, but I'm flirting with a couple of dudes, and all of a sudden it's a problem. The way they fired me even was like really crazy. But anyway, like, like the girl tried to little girl me like, oh, you have a bigger purpose for your life, and I was just like you. And it's like, bitch, you wasn't never just like me. Okay, don't compare your life to my life, okay? Because your shit is in shambles and I'm cool over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it very much gave like, she was a single mother and she like had a lot of issues and different things like that. And no shade to single moms or anything like that. I love single moms, but she had a lot of shit going on. And I was just like this very carefree artist. I was just kind of like doing my thing. I was new to Maryland, and these girls were pressed about me. And I'm not even that girl where I'd be like, oh, this and that person is jealous of me. I'm not that girl. I'm really a girl's girl. I have nothing but girlfriends. And when women start doing that catty shit with me, it's always like, all right. You know what I'm saying? That was a long ass sidebar. Anyway, let me get back to it. Kelli says that she wants her to show up because she has a bigger purpose. I didn't like that comment from Kelli. It's like, girl, fuck you. Like, how are you showing up right now? Brittany tells her she feels like she's hiding behind her team. Kelli says that she doesn't know how she's hiding behind her team when it seems as though Brittany wants her team. She said that in a confessional. Brittany says that Kelli told her team that she doesn't want them working with Brit anymore. And at the same time, she offered her team to them. So that, yeah, y'all are not friends anymore. It's so clear because, you wouldn't care if your friend is using your glam. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would just be like, whatever. That is clearly her way of like wanting to sever the relationship, but not do it directly. Of course, it's deeper than donations at this point. Brittany says, when you have an issue with me, I just want you to come to me instead of making it a lesson for the whole group. And I agree with that 100%. 2 episodes in a row, these girls got me siding with Brit and agreeing with her. Never thought I'd see the day. Anyway, we have the ladies hanging out by the pool. Shamia and Kelli show up in matching outfits. Something about that is kind of corny and childish to me. I mean, I don't mind y'all wearing the same color, right? The same outfit, that's kind of weird. But I'm one of those people where like in like a couple, if I'm with my man or my lady or something like that, like I want us to have coordinated outfits sometimes. Like I feel like there's cute corny and then there's corny, anyway. So anyway, the ladies are getting ready for Jab Jab, which is pretty much a celebration to beat down the oppressor and say to the oppressor, and we are just celebrating our liberation. And it was just shocking to me that Portia knew so much about this, but she didn't know that the Underground Railroad was not, in fact, on a choo-choo train. Okay. Anyway, they showed some footage of the crowd, and I think that There was a soca artist in the crowd. He had dreads. I don't know this man's name. Caribbean people, Grenadians out there, I know I have some Caribbean folks who are very familiar with soca. It's this man, he has dreads. I know I saw him in the crowd last night. Y'all, when I tell you this nigga is so fine. I don't remember his name. Anyway, that man is so fine. Grenadians got some fine ass niggas. Anyway, so the ladies are talking by the pool and Kelli is talking about her divorce. Drew opens up with them and shares that she was planning on doing a vow renewal with Ralph. Drew, that man got you so twisted. It's not even funny. He just swinging Drew every which way but loose. I want Drew to wake up. Portia pulls Shamia to the side and she puts this really big, outrageous straw hat on her to take pictures of her. Portia said that she wanted to give Shamia a moment and take her mind off of things. And I have to say that Shamia has a really amazing body. I know that she mentioned that she is self-conscious about her back rolls.
Back rolls?
But girl, please, that body is so sickening to me, okay? Kelli is saying that her ex-husband is not making it easy for her to do anything. And let this be a lesson to all of you ladies, not to marry or have children with ugly men. So anyway, the ladies are at Jab Jab having a really good time. We have this confessional with Shamia saying, "This is how Grenada made me feel." And then she leans back and she has her legs in the air and production had to block out her coochie. And I just want to know what the fuck is wrong with this lady. What is wrong with you? Anyway, it's wild to me that Shamia's luggage came on the last day, but it serves her right for her nasty ass behavior. I didn't know that Shamia was this nasty and this passive aggressive. She tries to hide her fuckery under the veil of Christianity. Oh, I just prayed about it. Oh, it's like, girl. Anyway, apparently Phaedra let Brittany scrub her body down. Every crevice, you know, to get all of the black oil off of them. Phaedra let Brit scrub her body. She said every crevice.
He was in the shower washing that damn oil and
No, you're not really clean. You're good at showering.
I like to be clean.
She was like, open up your butt. I was like,
open it up.
I was like, why
I
is
got
she
you.
so
Just
clean?
lift the leg up. Lift the leg up. I
baby,
got
this
you.
thing got me clean.
I love it.
Kelli says that this was the rebirth that they all needed and they were able to connect on different levels and really relax, reset, and renew. She says hopefully they can keep things up on this level, and then they show this 72 hours later montage where it is apparent that she and Brit are still not talking, and some man approached Angela saying, "Hey girl, your man is cheating." So things are going to turn up for next week's episode, which I'm looking forward to. But this was another dud. Shout out to all of Phaedra's fans who said, oh, Phaedra was needed. But when I looked up the ratings a couple weeks ago, the ratings had dropped when Phaedra came on the show. So shout out to Phaedra and her fans and, you know, the nothing that she's giving this season. You know, I'm having different feelings about this show, right? Because I was feeling like, oh, you know, so many people have done awful things and Kenya should be able to come back. But Kenya has displayed a really haughty attitude in the media recently, and I'm not feeling her. I'm not feeling her attitude. So I feel like this show should go on pause. This should take a little bit of a pause. I don't need to see Kenya back right away because she was coming for House of Aaron for calling her establishment. And it's like, girl, you showed your establishment and you showed you doing something nasty and disgusting at your own establishment. So the fact that you're expecting that people are not going to talk about your business or talk about whether or not it's open or whether or not business is jumping for you, you clearly are not well up here. Like, there's something not connecting with Kenya. And it's just like, it's like sometimes she wants to be apologetic and accountable, and then sometimes it feels like she's completely out of touch with reality. But anyway, y'all, those were my thoughts and opinions. Go ahead and get down in the comments with me. Let me know how you felt about this one. You already know that I want to hear from you. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And I will see y'all for the next one. Peace.
Question is why I do the things I do. Answer I may never find, will always choose you. Wanna get give up on you,